Hi folks, Puffin here with your Antifa News Briefa for August 21st, 2021. It's actually 4:20, happy 4:20, blaze it, 4:20 a.m., August 21st. So it's not even the daytime here in America, but you should be hearing today about Afghan forces taking over cities and provinces in Afghanistan, taking them back from the Taliban. So that's the news story. I want to first say something about how I got this news story. I just finished making my video about Anna Quinn and watched a video from CGTN, the Chinese news agency on YouTube. And they had something from 3 hours ago, which is probably a couple hours ago now, so about 5 or 6 hours ago. They had the news story broken for me that some Afghan forces have taken over some provinces in Afghanistan, taking them back from the Taliban, killed dozens of Taliban fighters. Showed the tweet from, I guess, the president of Afghanistan now. He was the former vice president or vice something, and he's now the president, but, officially by Afghan law because the other guys bailed. And it's interesting. It makes me wonder if the whole thing's not kind of a big trap. A trap for the Taliban, like they let them in. Seems kind of like some Helm's Deep stuff or something from a video game I remember. But Helm's Deep from Tolkien, The Lord of the Rings. Something like that, where it's kind of like they let them in, and then, it's probably, there's a military term for it, but I'm not a military person. But I'm thinking they trapped them. I think the problem with fighting the Taliban has always been trying to fight them in the mountains. And I think they knew that they had some traitorous, some whatever, greedy politicians who would just sell the country out and sell their cities out to the Taliban, including Karzai, the guy that Bush appointed. I think he was instrumental in that. And the Bush kept in power, who I think used to work for, something that Bush was associated with too here in America. Anyway, so I think they knew there was this traitorous element that was going to leave and bail. And then they knew that they had one guy, at least, who was going to stick with it and stay in the country and assume his role as the president now. And he's apparently marshaled the Afghan forces, and they've taken some cities back, or taken some provinces back. I heard about this from China. I heard about this from the Chinese news on YouTube. And again, as far as I know, the news is only about 6 hours old. But at 6 hours old, when I go to check Google on my phone, the top news story is something like Trump is insisting that he's the one who picked where the Space Force goes. And then just a bunch of other stuff, like just nothing, like nothing. Nothing about this, but nothing about anything. Just, and it's pathetic. Like, in a way, here's another thing. It's not just a trap for the Taliban. It's a trap for these American Taliban, these Trumper Taliban, like Lauren Boebert and Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene, or any of these people who've been praising the Taliban and are obviously getting their cue cards from Putin, who was praising the Taliban. So I think it's going to trap all these people in their words and their affiliation, their ideology, in the same way that you're physically trapping the Taliban if you let them into these cities and then take them over and hit them from they don't know where until they're gone. If it is a trap, if it was all a trap to begin with, and it's been kind of like a play in the game, like acting like, oh no, they got the drop on us, and then coming back in and trapping, kind of like a reverse Trojan horse thing, if that makes sense. If it is a trap, then it seems like it's also just because of the holographic nature of reality, but also just because maybe they plan it this way, a trap to catch all these Trumpers, a trap to catch Putin, because all those people are traitors to humanity, not just traitors to their country. It's all traitors to humanity. So I'm not a warlike person. I'm not cheering on war, but it's kind of like once you've set this game, and if you're going to win it, it'd be better if the good guys win, if there's such a thing as good guys. And there are good guys when some people are fascists. And the Taliban, both the Taliban here in America are fascists, and the Taliban there in Afghanistan are fascists. And they're all pawns of Putin, who's a fascist. So, like, time to just be done with all this stuff. But But it is kind of like a big trick, and I'm going to end this there, so hopefully maybe more people will see this and share it. But I hope it's a big trick and that they pull it off, because um, those guys don't know what they're doing, and Putin doesn't know what he's doing playing this 4D chess. But in general, war is played out. If you win this one and it's a big trick and whatever, war is still obsolete. The 20 years still didn't really accomplish anything in Afghanistan, even if you managed to pull off one big trick. If you don't manage to pull off one big trick, then you're pretty much stuck with, yeah, the 20 years didn't do anything. But, you can definitely see Putin's fingerprints on all of this stuff. And, he's just trying to get revenge for uh, thinking America, yokoed USSR in Afghanistan, is the way I put it in one of my other videos. Basically just saying that, he feels like it's a threat to his manhood or something. Who knows? I'm not going to delve into those mentalities. They're all the same, though. There's a reason why they're all so like alpha bombastic, and why it's like connects to all this other stuff. All these terrorist groups network are the same network. The incels and the terrorists and the Taliban and the Trumpers and the KGB and the KKK and the trolls. They're all the same. Humanity exists outside of that, because they've swarmed the internet so much. They've got people thinking that half people are like them. They're not. They're the smallest minority, and we can help kind of educate and pick them off of that, and get free people from that, so that they become people again instead of trolls and terrorists. And that'd be great. It'd be great to reform people. But at the same time, if like at this point with the Taliban, or if even with these terrorists in America, because these Trumpers are acting real terroristic, and some of them are straight up terrorists, and the other ones are terrorist supporters. But yeah, with the Taliban, if the Afghan army is reforming and taking them out, it's kind of like, you get what you get. Don't play these stupid games. And mostly, we've put all those weapons out there for that. And it's a bad look, and it's a bad move, and we've got to stop doing that. We did that with ISIS. Now we've done it with the Taliban. We've got to stop arming terrorists in order to have an excuse to fight terrorists, because it's stupid. We've got to stop war, because war is terror. Even if you're the winners or acting justified, engaging in war is terror. If you're that much more powerful, we'll learn it from the aliens. If you're that much more powerful, war is just cruel. If you're that much more powerful, use your power in good and constructive ways. Aliens will teach us that, but we can teach ourselves that, or we can build robots that teach us that, or something. But we've got to stop listening to the stupidest people on the planet, the Trumpers and the terrorists and the Taliban. Thanks, and Putin. We got to cut all those guys out. Thanks, and see you soon. This has been your Antifa News Briefa. I'm Puffin. Have a good one. And I hope this has been the beginning of more good news for like liberation of people. Hopefully not more death, more like maybe the Taliban will surrender as quickly as the Afghan army surrendered, and everybody will just decide to get along, and they'll just literally turn the guns into other things instead, or sell them for, who needs them? It's just, yeah, turn them to other things instead. Recycle the metal. So thanks. See you soon.